It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hello and welcome to Alive After Reading. I'm Tim Niederreiter, and with me today is a returning guest, the author of the Statford Chronicles, John Walker. Welcome back to the show, John.
Why, thank you for having me, Timothy.
Well,
I just even gave a thumbs up right then. It was,
like we don't use my big name on this show. I'm Tim Niederreiter here.
Hi, Tim.
I'm Tim. I'm Little Tim. Anyway, which anyone who's met me in person will say, obviously not. No, not little. Not at all. So, as one of the large kind of geek, I will ask you to introduce yourself a little bit to our guests. You are to our listeners. I mean, you are the guest.
Listeners.
Gosh, I'm terrible.
It's okay. I'm not doing. Apparently, not doing much better. Hi. I'm John Walker. I am the author of the Statford Chronicles, as Tim said. I am also I'm an IT guy working for a government entity. I am also the track lead, the department head for the new media track at Balticon, which happens every Memorial Day weekend up in, I know this is going to shock everybody, Baltimore, Maryland. So if you feel like it, stop on by. I'll say, "What up, yo?" Even if I don't even know who the hell you are.
That's just what you say when you see people, right?
I know.
It makes perfect sense, though.
It's like, "What up, yo? I am the Pope." Oh, hey, what up, yo?
Yeah, where'd you get that hat, yo? Anyway, yeah. So as far as Balticon goes, I'm kind of excited because I'm looking at I hope to attend my first Balticon next year, and
you'll love it.
I'm excited. It is the podcast and the podcast author mecca, that's for sure. At least it was.
It still is.
I guess that doesn't really change. I mean, mecca doesn't move.
It can't. Using
never mind.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. It doesn't move, but it does. It can shift from one place to another. But Balticon, at least to my knowledge, and hopefully never will.
I'll tell you Balticon on Mars in New Baltimore. The ice caps of Mars.
That would be awkward. I definitely would not be able to drive there.
Yeah, I don't think I can make that trip either. Anyway.
Yeah. And folks, we're sober. What is this?
Yeah, well, no promises there. Okay, so it's the middle of the day, so yes, actually I am. But okay, so John, as far as your work goes, what are you working on currently? Are you still as far as books and stuff?
Yeah.
I suppose you can go into the con stuff too if you want.
Yeah. Well, the con stuff I am working on. But we haven't really gotten that far yet because we're still about 6 months out.
Mm-hmm.
I am finishing. Well, I'm about 3/4 of the way, hopefully, through book 11 of the Chronicles, which should be out February 14th. I'm doing that. I'm releasing it on Valentine's Day because I'm just that kind of romantic fool. And oddly enough, the book it involves Cupid. So what does that tell you?
Okay, so you got topical release scheduling.
I know. It's like I know what the hell I'm doing, and but I'm also going to do kind of I'm going to release it on the 14th of February, and then also going to be at Mysticon in February, which is really just going to be freaking awesome. So and I'll be able to see a few other folks there, hopefully.
Okay.
After I get that done, I've got some super secret projects going on that are
secrets.
You're not getting them.
It's okay, sure, happening. Fair enough. I understand that.
It's not. It's nice try.
This is a broadcast program.
Yeah, yeah. The voice almost worked. It almost worked, but
yes.
Yes, my precious. And
Exactly.
but it's definitely gonna it's gonna surprise a lot of people. But hopefully, and I'm fairly certain it will really get people excited, and get some eyeballs on some books. So
Oh, that's always the goal, right? I
I
mean,
know, right?
especially as indies, that is, it's not the other authors that are the enemy or the foe. I mean, they're not rivals. It's
Yeah.
all obscurity that's the problem.
Yes, and I mean I will say that I won't say that you're right. It's not authors. It's and I don't want to sound elitist, but I
Sure.
might, but I should. And just because you have folks who I mean, and I love new writers. I love reading new stuff, but but there are some who put it out and some of it is almost plagiarized. Others,
Oh yeah.
it's like nobody's ever heard of the word editor before.
Yeah, that's
And,
fair. I mean, it's a
and
fair point.
yeah, I mean, if you've got something you're passionate about, awesome, write it, put it out, but get it edited to put it out there, and don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna call names because all folks who haven't gone in the editing route need to do is go the editing route. It's not that it'll make your story 1,000 times better, and you'll become a better author at the end of it. All right, soapbox out.
That's a PSA. Yeah, that's for authors who don't use editors. And honestly, I mean, it's kind of interesting because you're talking to one who's actually not used a lot of an editor for a couple books. But I did add editors initially, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
And also, I really most of the books I did release without editors were fairly short, and I combed them pretty perniciously or something. Anyway, I mean, I know I should have edited that sentence. I need an editor for that one. Anyway, so but I guess my point is that, I mean, especially the developmental editing stage, I think is kind of something that people, when you're really new, if you've never written a book before and you want to release it, I'd say run it through that stage at least once. Oh no, just once. Probably,
Yeah, or not
because
even
that's expensive stuff.
Right, it can be. I mean, not necessarily even an editor. I mean,
Yeah,
just
somebody read it though.
Yeah,
Get some eyes on it.
another set or two of eyeballs. Just have somebody look through it, say, "Hey, I don't get it," and if they don't get it, have them explain why. But if they're like, "Dude, this is really cool," just change this at to an on, and you're good.
At and on.
Don't ask.
No, I actually know that. No, I'm not. I'm actually serious. That's a common mistake that I see in a lot of my older work when I'm editing it.
Yeah.
No, anyway.
Yeah, okay. But it's just, I mean, again, it sounds a little bit elitist, and it probably is a little bit. And I'm not like super duper bestseller. I understand that. I'm okay with that. But I've also worked with people who I absolutely respect and adore, and I've read them, I've written with them, and their work is consistently their mantra is eyeballs, editor. Don't ever let anybody tell you, and don't and Tim, if you need me to read any of your stuff, let me know. I'll be.
No, it's okay. Actually, I never mind. We can talk about that off the air. But go on.
I mean, I'd love to read. No, I'd actually, love to be, get my own eyes on something brand new because that's
okay.
Because that's freaking awesome.
I'll see about adding you to my ARC list then.
Awesome. And
if I can't get your secrets, you can at least have one of mine.
Right. Oh, don't worry. These are secrets I don't want to tell on air. But
no, that I understand. No problem. No problem. We can. Well, let's back away from that again.
Yeah.
All right. So you were saying about but the editing. You've these editors respect, and they always make your. And I understand what you mean. I mean, I really do respect the work of the editor who I hired for and I actually he's also an author, Tim Markwitz. I hired him for my first 2 clean books, and he really gave me mostly it was a confidence boost, but he also gave me a lot of good nitpicks and changes. And that's the kind of thing that, I'm just never going to get on my own. There's the nitpicking only goes so far with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
it's not unimportant stuff. This is valuable stuff. And if your book goes out and it's not formatted appropriately, one of the big things with him was he fixed this formatting thing that I was doing with the headers.
Yeah.
I never would have thought to do it otherwise. So kudos there. Props. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And editors are important, but writers are important too. Mm-hmm. It's I would say it's a parasitic relationship, but it's not. It's absolutely symbiotic. We're both. We as writers and editors, a good writer can be a fantastic editor, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. And if you trust, because my editor, Erica Pryor, love this lady. She's fantastic. I recommend her to pretty much anybody I know. And yeah, she's great. And I tell her, but the thing is, we actually got to a point where what we do is, and it depends on your style. Some people are, they send the whole shebang to their editor and call it a day and wait a month, 2 months, 3 months for the edits to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Eric and I are doing it chapter by chapter.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. What's that like though?
It's horrifying.
Okay.
It's great, but it's also like, oh my God, what in the hell? Because she'll hit me.
Do you have an outline first? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm a pantser.
Okay, me too.
Even though technically there's an overarching outline, but
for the series.
For the series, but for each book, no, I don't do anything. I pants it per book, and it's a lot. It's a complete blast. But yeah, we're doing every chapter. And we actually almost came to verbal blows like 2 or 3 times over it, and which is great in a sense, but it's also terrible in a sense because we're still friends, and we don't. The last thing I want to do is lose a friend due to saying, oh, you know what you're talking about, blah, click, and then, text later, say, hey, what's up?
Hey, by the way, what do you think of the rest of it?
Yeah. Or not even that, just like, hey, what's up? What you doing? And it's like, having a blistering text back. How dare you?
I'm still mad. Anyway, you forgot? How could you? Okay, so Anyway, as far as the tempestuous relationship you have with your editor, that's good information. And I also think I've got to say, editing lately. I'm just doing my first pass on this stuff that I'm this book. No, it's not even the first pass because this is actually whatever. Long story, doesn't need to be told here. But as I read this book, I'm like, wow, I can actually remove so much crap, and it just makes the book so much stronger. And there's like little shuffling. It's almost all sentence level stuff, though. The thing that I'm discovering here is like, wow, this story was actually really solid when I wrote it, as far as story. And there's one insight I want to share. I want to see what you think about this, because I think it's kind of something I've been shying away from, because I really do like the setting as that's where all my stuff comes from. Like all my ideas and stuff come from the setting first, almost every book. Actually, the one exception is the books you actually read of mine.
Right.
Where I had the idea for the situation first, kind of this high concept thing.
Right.
That started the first story. Yeah.
And that's usually how it goes.
But as I was saying, like I usually start with from a setting. Like I build a crazy world, a big world, weird world, and then I drop a character into it. And that's what I did with this story I'm editing now. Mm-hmm. And it actually worked out very well because the character is so tied into the world. And that was the insight I thought was like, if your character really links up to multiple elements in the setting, mm-hmm. that's really useful. and it's really good as a writer. What do you think about that?
I like it, and that's kind of like. I mean, there's two ways. Well, there are a couple ways. I'm not going to say two because,
Yeah.
but there are a few ways of going about writing an engaging story. One is you make the characters.
Yeah.
You make the characters the story. In others, in what you're doing, you're making the setting the story.
Oh no, I actually think it's not that different. But go on. Yeah, keep going. I'll just disagree with you there.
All right. Well, the setting can be a character if you want to.
It's like it's a character or a set of characters is how I'm thinking about it.
Right, and but to me, I mean, you can turn like Tolkien, and yes, I'm probably going to get a bunch of hate mail from this. That's okay. I'll get over it. But Tolkien, his world was his entire setting. His world was a character.
Yeah,
and you had because stuff that may have been happening in the Kingdom of Gondor and all that crap. You had all sorts of other little adventures and crap happening while Frodo and them were doing their thing. You had Aragorn and they doing their thing, and you had all these three separate storylines, and they were just. But all along, you had Middle Earth just hey, what's up? And
surrounding everything,
surrounding everything,
in everything too.
Yes, and being this character of just this whole world of just multi-layered characterization. Meanwhile, you had some kind of Tolkien could create wonderful worlds, characters. We'll leave that alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, people disagree, and obviously, I mean, it's been forever since I've read Tolkien, but I mean, but the thing about his characters, at least, is that the roots of them is there. It's just the way they're written in the actual book might not be perfect.
Right, and I'm not, and I mean it, and that's actually,
which is why the movies really worked so well for me.
Oh,
like the Lord of the Rings movies were super. That was like I'd read the books at that point when they came out, and I was thinking, but I was still like, wow, these are actually. I think I still like them better than I liked the books because they're much more human in feel. There's this focus on the people that just it kind of gets lost at some points of the story anyway in the fiction.
Right. And I mean I get lost a lot in fiction like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love reading Tolkien. I love getting lost in that world. But I mean I just see the world as more of a character. The setting is more of a character, and as more of because things are happening. It's a very reactionary thing rather than the characters. The characters are not making the mark on the world. The world is making the mark on the character.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't. That wasn't really what I was trying to describe, which is why I was going to disagree with you. Oh. But that's okay. That's okay. That's not. I think you still make a good point that the world, because I still think. I mean, I've got my characters as a very central character to the story. I only have one point of view. And for all three books so far that are in editing, and I think that's kind of that's been kind of a strong point for me, because if I don't focus on a single character, it's easy to get lost, right? You can have like, okay, we're bouncing over here now, and we're going to see what the goblins are up to or whatever. And I don't know. I think multiple points of view when you have a really intensely powerful setting actually makes the setting more. It takes over more if you've got multiple points of view. But there's obviously ways to combat that. But yeah, and no rules absolute.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the great thing. I mean, in some cases with characters, some rules are absolute. I mean,
for sure. Yeah.
Unless of course unless of course you break those rules, in which case, stop it.
Which rules are absolute? Okay, I mean, just curious now. Would you say? I mean, it's going to be hard to find them, but what rules do you think are close anyway?
All right, here's an absolute rule. You have to make your characters engaging.
That's a fair rule.
Whether they are
close.
Whether they are protagonists, antagonists, supporting, whatevs. don't care. They have to be engaging. If they're not engaging, they are cardboard cutouts. And if I wanted that, I'd watch soap operas.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you just lost another contingent of people who watch soap operas. Sorry.
That's okay. I don't know how many of those people are actually listening to this. And if there are, I mean, whatever, the opinions of John Walker are not the opinions of a live actor reading.
Fine.
Except actually in that case, no, whatever. So anyway, yeah. So I mean, that's a good point. Keeping your characters, making them engaging. I think also what I was getting, I was kind of similar. I was making the characters engaged in the setting as well.
Yes.
So there's stuff going on that they care about. People know them in the world, or they know people in the world. That's the kind of thing. I mean, like there's connections that tie them in.
Yes, and the ties that bind.
Yeah. So yeah, and we've frothed a little bit about that, but that's as far as your work's going. I mean, how many books do you have in Statford Chronicles right now?
Right now 10.
10. Oh yeah, that's impressive. That's a lot of books.
Yeah, it
feels like a lot anyway.
It is a lot. It is a lot. I'm nearly 500,000 words.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah. And I've got about that many more to do.
So about 1 million total.
It's a 21 book series plus whatever I decide to add in on the back end. Like spin-offs.
And you've also got that spin-off series, right?
That's Gus. That's
but it's in your
Gus
world.
Graben. Oh yeah, it's in the world, and it's awesome. I mean, the places it will go.
Bloody Dr. Seuss tale.
I know. Just the way Gus writes, and I love. If you haven't had a chance to read any of the Deadly Studies series,
Do it. Yeah.
It does it give you an insight into the world of Chronicles? A bit, yes, but it also by itself is a fantastic. I mean, if you never read the Chronicles and all you read were the Deadly Studies, you'd still have a hell of a ride. And I say this, I mean, Gus sends me stuff. He sends me words, and I'm like, and it's pretty much at that point the highlight of my day. So I absolutely recommend it. I mean, if even just the first one, you're just going to be like, oh, damn, that's YUM. When you get into shared worlds, and this is something that, with collaborating with other writers, with other creatives, because you can have people drawing scenes from your words, whether that's whether it's for a cover, whether it's for promotional material, whatever, doesn't matter. When you collaborate with people, you're letting them into your playground. If you're the head honcho, for lack of a better term, you're letting these folks into your playground. And I let Gus in, and I said, "See that sandbox?" He went, "Yes." And I go, "Have fun." And he went, "Okay." And he's been going ever since. But it's a wonderful, absolutely wonderful experience. So
great. I always wonder what that'd be like. Yeah.
I recommend it. I mean, if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I got, are you okay with this particular bit?" And are you okay with me working on this particular bit? And I go, let them see what, because all you can say is no. If you don't like it, just say no and go on with your life.
Yeah. That's kind of my general opinion on fan fiction as well. It's bless them, but having more canon work in your world, that's really intriguing to me. Like having another writer writing stuff that's official, effectively, or whatever, official.
Yeah,
and
and
fiction.
that's a very touchy subject for a lot of people. Because I told
Star
Gus,
Wars.
don't get me started.
Okay, let's not talk about that. Sorry. Tell about Gus.
You will not. Jedi hand wave. You will not talk about that subject. But no. I mean, I told Gus what you're doing is canon, and he's like, he was like, okay.
I was imagining more of the Hallelujah chorus from Handel's Messiah.
Well, that was playing in the background. Anyway, yeah, and but I mean, I've dropped a bunch of hints on people, a bunch of hints. If anybody follows me on Facebook, they look back at my feed, they'll just see like little shit I write, and they'll be like, they will see hints of things yet to come.
So basically, people should, a few years from now, or maybe even now, people should use the Wayback Machine and check out what you tweeted.
Yes,
I've read your books.
Yeah, stalking me is probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I encourage people stalking John Walker. Just don't stalk me. That's not good.
Yeah, I don't. I have just stalk me. I don't care. But
all right,
what else? But I can tell you that doing collaboration is very important for any writer, whether it's just you're collaborating with your editor, collaborating with an editor, illustrator, cover artist, your beta readers you might have, all that good stuff. Just that's what you want to do. It's absolutely what you want to do, because no one is an island.
I was going to say that. Hey, you jumped on my words. Okay, go. That's good advice.
Yeah.
And speaking of islands and other terrible segues.
Oh, that was good.
What have you been reading lately?
Oh God, what have I been reading? Well, mostly study guides for the CCNA, because and if you want something that's riveting, putting you to sleep, that's a form of riveting. But I've also been reading. I've been reading Starla Hutchton. Lauren Harris. I'm actually starting on Jennifer Melzer too. But
I got one of her short stories that was she released recently.
Yeah, I enjoy reading her stuff, so I'm trying to get into it. But Alex White,
okay,
who is, holy crap, just
what's Alex White's series or books at this point?
Oh, right now he's doing, let's see, the Salvagers. Okay. First it was Big Ship on the Edge of the Universe, and oh God, I can't remember the second one. He's going to kill me.
People can find the first one at least,
Yeah. But Big Ship is outstanding. I love the hell out of it. Of course, I'm reading Cooley because,
that's
Cooley.
Paul Ellard Cooley. Paul
Yes.
E. Cooley.
Yes, Paul E. Cooley. Excuse me.
Not Ellard. What a weird.
Whatever.
Anyway, never mind. He's never coming on this show again. I'm gonna have to edit that part out. So anyway.
Oh, no. Just ask him nicely. Probably some.
Oh, he won't even know I said it.
Yeah. Well.
So anyway.
Also Terry Mixon.
Yes. Empire Bones.
Yes, and definitely Empire Bones. I'm waiting for him to put out more of the Blasted Land,
Scorched Earth
series. Oops, derp. The Scorched Earth series, also his Humanity Unlimited, and I'm really wanting to see, because he's got a lot of big plots going, and I want to see how he continues them. But definitely Empire Bones. God, who else am I? I'm reading way too many.
I think you swamped us already. I think people have got enough, but that's okay.
Also, this guy named Tim Niederreiter. Yeah, he's actually.
Yeah. Well, I've never heard of that guy before. I can't imagine he's any good.
Well, no, he's actually very, very entertaining. And if you can't suck up to the host, who can you?
Okay, well, I mean, appreciation, sir. Appreciation. I'm gonna golf clap a little bit there. So So yes, thank you. And as for me, I mean, what I've been reading lately, I mentioned this podcast is actually really close to the last one I recorded, but I'll mention it again. Lust Locked by Matt Wallace. It's so good so far. And his books are. I said it last time, but I'll say it again. These are books. I mean, the way Matt Wallace writes, it's like I couldn't do that, but I'm glad he can. Like, there's no way I would write that way. It's insane. And that's kind of the highest compliment I can pay another writer. It's so gonzo. It's almost a Muppet, you know?
Right.
Anyway.
I got that.
So anyway, and I'm still reading The Black Company. I mean, you can refer to last week's episode. I mean, everyone should listen to every episode, right? If you want to know what I'm reading lately, because it's basically the same. So So John.
Sir.
Yeah, where can people find your work? Over the internet.
Over the internet.
Anywhere on the internet.
Not just anywhere. Mostly I can be found at Amazon. It's amazon.com/authors/John G. Walker. You can find me at walkersedgepublishing.net for a little while longer at least. And then of course I have my super secret project. Or if you want to really stalk me, I mean, just say hi. You can find me on Twitter at Walker875.
At Walker875. Well, thanks for being on the show, John.
Oh, the pleasure, Mr. Niederreiter, is mine.
Mr. Niederreiter. Yes, that's my name. That's my title anyway. Well, anyway, as for this show, you can find us and all the silliness I get up to at mentalcellarpublications.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at tniederreiter. You can find my books, amazon.com, or, I don't remember the whole URL, but there's links all over. You'll find them. Find my books there. Currently I'm exclusive. And coming December 19th of 2018, the first Pillar Universe novel is going to be on Amazon. It's going to be amazing, and I swear by that. I mean, you will not be disappointed if you like space opera and you pick that book up. So thanks for listening, everybody. Take it easy.
That tears it.